Hey, what's up, everybody? Ralph here. So I came across this article on CNBC talking about how the Department of Education is going to suspend their seizure of tax refunds and Social Security for overdue student loan debt. So if you're someone that has student loan debt that hasn't been paid yet, if you're not aware of it by now, like if the government wants to get their money, they will get their money. The good thing about this article is, and it talks about how they're not going to do that, or they're going to just stop it for, they're going to pause it for now. But it's important to understand that if you're someone that owes debt and you're just like you're not going to pay it, you got to start thinking about what are you going to do in the future, because if it comes to a point where the government is going to get their money, they're going to figure out how to do that. So, as I came across this article, it was just interesting to see that. So I just wanted to go through and let's see how they're going to go about stopping this and see what are the plans. So at least you have an idea of how to prepare for what they're trying to do. Or prepare for what they're going to do in the future in regards to overdue student loan debt. So it says the U.S. Department of Education has suspended the seizure of tax refunds, Social Security, and other government payments to satisfy defaulted student loan debts until November, the agency said. About 9 million people have a federal loan in default, which means they've fallen at least 270 days behind on payments. That's 9 million people that are way behind, they're just not paying their student loan debt. So that's just interesting to see that, especially with, come May 1st, obviously for these past 2 years, there's been, there've been a halt on, student loan debt. So you would hopefully think that a lot of these people are at least catching up or trying to figure out a way to, accumulate some money so they can put down and start making payments on these. But I doubt that. So it's going to be interesting to see, come May 1st, what they're going to do, if they're going to extend it more, or they're just going to say, all right, guys, it's time to make payments. But from the look of it here, when it comes to getting their money, they're going to wait until November to start doing that. Who knows? It's midterm elections, so maybe they want to just wait, before they want to wait on doing that to get people upset so they can obviously get reelected. But who knows? Let's see. So it says the Education Department, as well as other federal and state agencies, can collect on delinquent debt via the Treasury Offset Program, which intercepts certain payments to recover the owed funds. Borrowers have gotten a reprieve during the bear bug pandemic due to the federal pause on student loan payments, interest, and collection. But the policy ends after May 1st, fueling concern among consumer advocates that government won't seize tax refunds issued after that date, including benefits like the Earned Income, Child and Recovery to Rebate tax credits aimed at low-income households. However, the Education Department will not restart collection via the Treasury Offset Program for 6 months after the bear bug payment pause ends, according to its federal student aid website. That would be after November 1st if the pause isn't extended again, which I would not be surprised come November 1st. They're just going to push it even further because, government, they like to kick the can down the road and make problems even worse. All right. So it appears that the department updated its policy last week. The precise timing is unclear. An agency spokesperson didn't respond to a request for comment. The policy means that you won't lose money from certain government payments, such as child tax credits, Social Security payments, and tax refunds for the 2022 tax season, according to agency website. It builds on a narrow policy announcement last week that applied only to payments of the child tax credit. After CNBC inquiry, Education Secretary Miguel Cardona said February 8th that the federal agency wouldn't withhold any tax refunds attributed to the child tax credit even after May 1st. The intent of these social safety net programs is to protect and prevent people in the United States from experiencing crushing poverty. Not a reconciliation system for the federal government to use for the student loan portfolio, said Abigail Sutherland, who runs Charitable Foundation for the Focus Access on Public Services. So in 2019, the Treasury Offset Program collected nearly $4.9 billion to service debts held by the Education Department, according to a foundation analysis of public available data. That's pretty much, 2019, they basically got $4.9 billion. They recovered $4.9 billion in money that was owed to them due to, whatever student loan debt, whatever people that owed money, they were able to recover that amount of money through, tax refunds. So that's a lot of money. For whatever reason, that's a lot of money that they're able to recover. So if you're someone that's working, obviously you're going to get a tax refund. So they're going to go into your tax refund and get that money. So that's, you got to start deciding what you're going to do. You're going to just stop working, or you're going to have to figure out a way to start making payments on this debt, right? Because the government is going to come for their money sooner or later. Maybe not now, but eventually in the future they will come for it. That would be 78% of the total 6.3 billion in delinquent non-tax debt collected this fiscal year. The government is allowed to seize 100% of federal tax refunds to collect debts associated with child support, unemployment insurance, and state income taxes. It can also withhold up to 65% of federal salaries and up to 15% of Social Security payments, for example. However, certain payments, including those of many means-tested programs, are exempt from this offset. The Treasury must also provide a 60-day prior notice to the debtor of the intent to offset. Student borrowers in default will remain vulnerable past November 1st, added Selden, who was a candidate to oversee student loans for the Biden administration. Default disproportionately impacts borrowers of color, particularly African Americans, as well as students with children, Pell Grant recipients, and veterans, according to the Center of American Progress. Seizing tax refunds from borrowers in default would have run contrary to poverty-fighting measures of the American Rescue Plan. According to consumer advocates, the pandemic relief, which President Joe Biden signed in March, enhanced tax benefits like the earned income tax and child tax credits. Even pandemic withholding the earned income credit, which goes to low-income workers, exacerbates housing and financial instability and impairs workers' ability to get and keep jobs, according to the National Consumer Law. And that's what it is. Like, if you're someone that owes a lot of debt, and you pretty much know that, if you work and you get a tax refund, they're gonna go and take your tax refund. So a lot of people are like, then why work, right? And then that just incentivizes people not to work, probably get unemployment or receive benefits from the government. So basically, you're just staying stuck, not doing anything with your life, and you don't want that, right? You don't want that. But when you have this massive amount of debt, you feel like you have no options. Either work and you work off to pay off this debt, or just don't work. Don't progress in life, and you just get taken care of by the government, which doesn't do anyone in this country any good. So it's a tough situation, but that's why it's important to be intentional and try to come up with a plan, right? Develop skills, get a high-paying job, or do something, because you're gonna have to. A lot of people are just gonna die with this debt, and that's a sad reality for a lot of people. But if you're intentional, you try to come up, maybe get 2 jobs and get real intentional with paying off this debt. It's not gonna be easy, but what else choice do you have, right? Obviously they're delaying payments, and obviously a lot of people are hoping that the Biden administration just cancel the debt. I wouldn't hold my breath. They've always said that. For a lot of people, there's a lot of these politicians have said we're going to cancel debt and never do it, and some even argue that even the president doesn't even have that power to do that. So it's important to come up with a plan. Right, so that's all I got for you guys today. If you got a comment or question, make sure to leave a comment down below. Hit the like button, and do not forget to subscribe. Right, so you guys take care and have a good one.